I'll be taking some of your comments. Let me know which players you're thinking of, which players you already have. In fact, comment if you're already here. 2 players do you think everyone must have in their team? 2 players you think everyone must have in their team, and then the one who's mentioned by the most people will end up in the team. Will definitely end up in the team for sure. So we will be picking the 15 players. Obviously, still there's some other teams that still not yet released their final team. I literally do not like how this website looks. Like it literally, you cannot zoom out clearly, you cannot zoom in clearly. Like I literally hate it so much. Like they should have a way where you can just remove this. I don't want to see my name. I already know my name. Just remove it there. So literally, I can't see the goalkeeper and see the strikers in the same picture. So I literally do not like this one. I've also seen a couple of people disappointed about the rules. People are not understanding the rules and everything. People are saying it's not clear enough and everything. But yeah, we will see. We will see what happens. How are you guys who are already here? Gyro, how feel you? Well, Skid as well. Javob, how are you? Tron says hype, World Cup fever is on for sure. 100%. Lukaku going to miss the World Cup, is injured. Yep. Any of you guys have Ronaldo in your team? Says Kid. What's up, Ripper? Do how are you? Vini and Mbappe must have, says Tron. Messi and Neymar. Really going to hit this live, says Sharma. Why, Sharma? Why? I think Messi and Neymar are a must have. So Shama, there's nothing to hate, man. Really, really hyped. So let me know. Already, all of you have said almost different players apart from Messi and Neymar have been mentioned by two people. So let's see. So as always, we know it's very important because you can change your players, you can make subs and everything. In terms of the chips or whatever they call it in the World Cup fantasy, they call it boosters. It depends on when you're going to use it and everything, but I will have a separate video on that one talking about when you should use the wildcard, your 12th man, your power captain, all that. But for this one, we'll be talking about the players who you think everyone should have, and some players I'll be giving ideas and also taking your ideas. So this is not just my draft. I'll be taking some of you guys draft players as well. So without wasting any time at all, I can already see Messi, Mbappe, and I put a poll in the chat asking who you guys think we should have in terms of premium forwards. Now there are a couple. There's Messi, there's Kane, there's Ronaldo, there's even Lewandowski if you prefer. There's Neymar. Like there's a lot of these forward players who you could have, but I only included the ones who I think many people will have, in terms of selected. So I think Messi was leading the poll if I'm not wrong. Messi had 50% of the votes, so that is quite interesting, and that will be the first pick in this video. So we will go with Lionel Messi as the first pick because a lot of people will have him, and most of you have voted for him as the must-own player. So Messi at 10.5 million. I really love him. Why? That match day one fixture. Messi is playing against Saudi Arabia in match day one, and then also playing against Mexico and Poland. Now, Saudi Arabia, if I remember correctly, in the last World Cup, they played Russia in the first game and they lost 5-0. Like, if that happens again, I think they've also not scored in the last 3 of the last 5 games. And Messi is Messi. He takes the penalties, he takes the free kicks. He's going to be turned up and pumped up for this World Cup. Definitely pumped up for this World Cup. It could be his final World Cup. I still think he might make the next World Cup, maybe on the bench. But for this one against Saudi Arabia, first fixture, that is definitely a fixture you cannot ignore for Lionel Messi. I mean, if you don't have him in the first week, you are going to be in a bit of trouble because you see, right now he's owned by almost 58%. And I'm expecting a lot more people to have him. So this could be up to 70%. So Lionel Messi is pretty good as always. He plays on the Tuesday, so that is 2 days after the World Cup starts. So obviously, if you captain a player from Sunday and Monday, you can definitely change it to Tuesday. I probably think he will be the best captain. I can literally see him getting at least 2 goals in this game. And then the other thing you'll have with Messi is you don't expect him to get subbed off. You would expect Messi to play the entire 90 minutes, and he will return. Also, this season, remember, in terms of World Cup fantasy, whenever a player takes a shot, when a player takes 3 shots on target, they get an extra point. So let's say Messi takes like 6 shots. Like you're getting 2 extra points there. He obviously can get a goal for sure. He can earn a penalty, get points for earning a penalty. He can get an assist for the likes of Taro Martinez and stuff. So I think Lionel Messi is the best player to have, according to you guys and according to the selection and everything, for sure. And also that match against Saudi Arabia, you cannot ignore it at all. How are you, Chan? Jacob says, I have Taremi in my team. I think he can be a differential. The good thing with most of you who've played Champions League Fantasy, you'll know about some other players that many people might not know. Many people who don't follow the other leagues, like players like Taremi, who Jacob has mentioned, players like Kudus. Most of you already know about them. So only 4.5 million, says Tron. That is striker from Tunisia. Did you say that? Lucy says a doubled up on Martinez and Messi, good or bad? Says Lucy, we will talk about that, but I think that's a very good idea. I thought about that as well. I think you have to have like 3 players from Argentina for that first fixture. As I said, I literally do not like how this website looks at all. Like there's no way you can take away. Like, I know it's not clear for you guys as well. Like this is how the website looks literally. Like you cannot see the entire team on screen. I definitely hate that. And you can zoom in, but you can literally not zoom out past that. So that is a bit crazy. But Messi for sure is a very good option. Now the thing is it good to have? Do you think it's great to have 3 players, 3 premium strikers, like all the 3 premium strikers, or do you think it's a good idea to have maybe 2 and then 1 cheaper striker and then a couple of cheaper midfielders and expensive midfielders and then expensive defenders? Now the thing is, this season or this World Cup fantasy, you get 5 points for a clean sheet. So I think you have to go for at least 4 defenders. Like if we can get a defender who scores a goal and gets a clean sheet in the same week, you're looking at 15 points or something. That is crazy. I think it's 7 points for scoring a goal. So considering if a defender scores a goal, it's 7 points, and when they keep a clean sheet, it's 5 points. That takes you to 12 points already. You've not even counted the playing minutes and everything. That is only going to get you 1 point either way, but you're looking at 13 points from a defender. Imagine you have 2 defenders who score and get an assist or keep a clean sheet in the same week. Very, very good options. And I feel like there's some teams here that are definitely going to keep clean sheets. Saudi Arabia doesn't score many goals, for example. I don't expect teams like Wales to score many goals. Teams like Tunisia don't score a lot of goals. So if you target the teams that are playing against them, you are in a very, very good position. So who is the second player we should be picking? Jacob says Kramaric is good. Tron says Wabi El Kazri. I remember El Kazri very well. He used to play for Sunderland in the Premier League. Chan says the top thing which overlaps is really annoying. I was thinking of having Ali from Qatar in my attack. Is the most dangerous for them, says Chan. Listen, everyone loves the host being in the competition until the final stages, but Chan, if I'm honest, I feel like they'll score out of the 3 games, they'll score 1 goal. Like, I'm so serious. I don't see them scoring that many goals. I think Cancelo is a must buy, says Lucy. Firmino robbed from the World Cup squad. Sean, I mean, Jesus is 10 times Firmino. I'm happy for Jesus as an Arsenal fan. I'm very, very happy he's been picked. Firmino obviously adds something, but that Brazil squad is hard to pick, man. I wouldn't like to be their coach. Like, it's hard. So who should be the second option? Now, let's go for... Now I'm thinking about a goalkeeper first. Let's go to Mexico. There's this goalkeeper, the goalkeeper for Mexico. He literally almost only plays World Cup games. I have never known which team he plays for in terms of club football. I only see him at the World Cup, literally. You know who I'm talking about. Where is he? This guy, Ochoa. I only see him at World Cup games. I've seen him in 2010, 2014, 2018. I have never, ever watched a club game where he's involved. So Ochoa is always a good option. And, for the banter and everything, I think he can be in our team. You don't have to choose him. Like for goalkeepers, you can literally go for anyone. Goalkeepers, I don't think it's a big deal. If you feel like this team is going to keep a clean sheet, you can go for it. And you don't literally have to spend a lot of money because of the save points and everything. You can still get a lot of points from the goalkeepers from Qatar and teams like that. So Ochoa is a good option as well. He's only going to cost you 5 million and he's in the group with the likes of Argentina. So you will have shots to save. And the first fixture he's playing is against Poland. Mexico are very good at World Cup tournaments. They usually turn up. I remember very well they beat Germany in 2018. They beat France in 2010. So Mexico usually turn up at World Cup tournaments. And they're playing Argentina and Saudi Arabia after that. So I think Mexico and Saudi Arabia will be good fixtures for them in terms of clean sheet, very possible. And also against Argentina, save points. So Ochoa is the next pick I have. So let's see what you guys are saying so far. Jacob says Neymar. Ripadu has Mbappe, Messi as well, Kane, Diego Costa from Portugal, Persevere, Courtois going to be the goalies for me, says Tron. So let's go. Let's choose a striker first. Let's choose a second striker first. No, now Kane is obviously a good option. Neymar is obviously a good option. There is Ronaldo is a good option. You can even say Giroud and Griezmann, whoever is going to start, is a good option. But I'm not sure you can ignore Kylian Mbappe. Those fixtures, my goodness. So I'm going to just go for him right away. Let me just go for Kylian Mbappe right away. Where is he? Kylian Mbappe, strikers. So Kylian Mbappe is going to be the most expensive player. I think he's the one who's definitely going to start. Now for Giroud and Griezmann, I'm not sure. They might start all three of them, but there's Benzema as well. So I think Benzema starts with Mbappe. And then will Griezmann start? Probably. It's very hard because Benzema wasn't an option in the last World Cup, but he is for this time. But the fixtures for France, my goodness, the first fixture that France have is Australia, and then Denmark, and then Tunisia. That is a very good schedule for Mbappe and his teammates to try and defend their World Cup tournament. Against Australia, I think they played against each other in 2018 as well, or 2014, one of those years. I'm thinking 4-0 or something straight away against Denmark. Denmark is not easy for them. Denmark have beaten France recently, but we would expect them to get at least 2 goals. And also Tunisia are going to pack the bus in that game, but I do expect them to get a goal or something in that match. So Mbappe is on good form. I actually wrote something down. He scored 4 goals in the 2018 tournament, Kylian Mbappe, and he also he has scored more than 50 goals. He's scored 28 goals in 59 games for France. In terms of club, he's been doing very well in PSG this season. You guys have him in the UCL Fantasy. He's been shining throughout. So Kylian Mbappe is obviously going to be in the team. So let's add him there. Kylian Mbappe with Messi is basically like we're picking PSG players. That's why I don't know why they wouldn't win the Champions League. Literally, we are picking all their players in the World Cup fantasy. Chance says I got Lloris, Alba, Rudiger, Molina, Dumfries, Kamada, Foden, Trossard, De Paul, Messi, and Courtois, Cancelo, Valverde, Neymar, bench. What do you think? Ripadu says Courtois, Otamendi, Van Dijk, Militao, Marquinhos, Coman, Trossard. Is Trossard that started though? Saka, De Paul, Casemiro, Mbappe, Kane, Messi, and 2 random dudes. Ripadu says a goalkeeper from Iran and a Qatar centre back at 3 million. Hey Glenn, why this doesn't have a nice user interface? It's terrible, man, Chica. I was just watching your new UCL video I made. That's why I feel this is less improved. Yeah, in terms of graphics, well, FPL and also UCL Fantasy is definitely better. Like, look at how it looks. It looks terrible. Like, I can't even see. Literally on the screen right now, I can only see the midfielders and a few strikers. I have to scroll up to go to the next players. But anyway, we're going to have to survive. We don't make the rules, unfortunately, Chica. We don't make the rules. I'm happy you guys can play the game, though. I was a bit scared the other time when you were reading the rules that you not be able to play. Jacob says Kobel from Switzerland is a cheap goalkeeper because Sommer won't play. Interesting. I was not sure about that. And still so many players are missing in general. Yeah, that is why it's just the first draft. So afterwards, we'll make complete drafts on the players are picked. But we are sure that Messi and Mbappe will definitely go. So the first game, Qatar and Ecuador, it's going to be an interesting one, but we're going to come to it. So there's a player we always love from Napoli. He's been doing the beats for us in the Champions League this season. So let's go to Poland. Do you guys think Zielinski would be a good option? Now, he will be behind Lewandowski and Milik. He will be creating the chances for them. But if he plays anywhere near the way he's been playing for Napoli, he will be very good. This season, he's already scored 6 goals for Napoli. And let's see. He's playing Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Argentina. So I think it's pretty good to have players for match day 1 and match day 2. I think it's wildcard should be used in match day 3. So if you're planning to use your wildcard in match day 3 when a couple of teams might be through and other teams will be resting players in match day 3 and other players from the bench might be playing, then match day 1 and 2 should be targeted, and Zielinski having their 2 easier fixtures in match day 1 and 2 could be very good. So he's playing against Poland and Saudi Arabia. Obviously, he has the potential of taking shots. He has the potential of making tackles in midfield. He has the potential of scoring goals. And I think he's a definite starter for Poland. So would you guys have Zielinski, or do you think Lewandowski is the better option from his country, Poland? Do you think Lewandowski is a better option? I think Lewandowski is a bit too expensive, and considering Mbappe, all these guys that we need to choose from in terms of strikers, I don't think a lot of people will have Lewandowski, but the ones who will have him, he's only owned by 5% right now. The ones who will have Lewandowski will have a big differential, because Lewandowski will probably score the goals for Poland if they get a lot. He'll be the one scoring. And Messi's owned by 58%, Mbappe by around 45%. So you could see how much of a differential he is. So I think Zielinski is definitely a good option. Tron says Modric is a good option as well, for sure. Ripadu says for goalkeeper, I believe in Courtois. I don't know about getting another goalkeeper, to be honest. So let's just go for Zielinski for now, 6.5 million. He will save you money in midfield. Let's see what happens with him. And I do love his 2 fixtures at the beginning. So Zielinski makes it there. Now we have a fixture difficulty rating. I have it with me here. I'll probably use it for the next video so you guys can see it. And Netherlands, England, Argentina, and Brazil, they have 3 good fixtures in all 3 rounds. So Netherlands, England, Argentina, and Brazil, they have 3 good fixtures at the beginning. So all those 4 teams we should be targeting. And then the teams that have 2 good fixtures at the beginning and maybe a hard one at the end, Belgium. For example, Belgium is playing Canada and Morocco, and then Croatia at the end. Croatia is the toughest team there. Teams to avoid, teams like Morocco have tough fixtures. Teams like Australia definitely have tough fixtures. Germany is playing Japan in the first game. USA is playing Wales. England is playing Iran in the first game. And that is where we are going to go, England first. So in terms of the way they play in a back 5, England. So I'm thinking in that game against Iran, I cannot see Iran getting a goal. I would be very surprised if Iran scored a goal against England. So here, I wouldn't be surprised if people go for 3 players from England. I wouldn't go that direction. But in terms of defense, I really wish someone like a Reece James was there. He would be a very good option. It's tough to know who's going to start. If Trent Alexander-Arnold was a definite starter for them, I'd go for him. But Southgate is not Klopp. He does not really rate Trent Alexander-Arnold. He definitely loves Maguire, and Maguire is a massive threat from corners. So he might even go for Maguire. It sounds crazy, but here we can actually go for Maguire, surprisingly. Chilwell is injured. Kyle Walker is injured. Luke Shaw is only 5 million, and he does well for England in the tournaments, especially the last Euros. He gets forward, he can score goals, and only 5 million. He's probably a definite start on the left side, at least for the first game, because they don't have Chilwell. They still might go for Trippier on the left side. He could do that, but I am going to go for, I was thinking Trippier, Tron, but does he definitely start? That is the thing. And I think he was subbed off yesterday. I have him in my FPL, and I think he played 70 minutes. I don't know if it was tactical, if he had a slight knock, but I think by the World Cup, he will make it. So if they play a back 5, I'd not be surprised if he put Trippier at centre-back, Tron. Southgate has his own style of play, and he might have Trippier at centre-back, and we don't really need Trippier at centre-back. When we get closer to the tournament, we'll probably have a better idea, but it can be between Shaw and Trippier, because Trippier can also take free kicks, and Shaw does take some of their corners. So for now, I am going to go for Luke Shaw, because we've seen him doing well for them in the tournaments before. And against Iran, I doubt Iran are going to score. So Luke Shaw has the potential here of getting an assist and a clean sheet. So you're looking at 7 to 10 points, which should be good for Luke Shaw. Let's see what you guys are saying. Next up, let me choose from you guys. Chika says I would not have Lewandowski at all. It should be Messi, Mbappe, Kane, 2 from this. A cheaper option, in my opinion. Don't underestimate Taremi. England have been quite bad in the Nations League. That is true. But it's different, Javo. This is a big tournament, and they've done well in the last 2 tournaments in terms of World Cup and Euros. I don't, yes, he's a very good striker, Taremi. We've seen it after FC Porto, but he's not the only one he cannot do it all. He needs creators behind him to create the chances for him, and he has to get the ball to score the goal. So I'm not sure he'll get the ball that many times to score. So I not really go for an Iranian player to score against England. I really doubt. But in the next games, maybe against Wales and the other team in the group, USA, maybe you could go for him, Java. But for the first one, no. We will take a look at Senegal. Tron will definitely take a look at Senegal, especially because they're playing Qatar. Speaking of Qatar, Ecuador are playing Qatar in the first game. you cannot you cannot go without an Ecuador playing that first game. I think they'll kind of silence the home crowd there. Ecuador, they don't score as many goals as like Brazil or anything like that, but against Qatar, that is a good fixture. And they also have Senegal in the group. Senegal at the last AFCON, they kind of struggled in the group stage despite winning it all. In the group stage, they kind of struggled against some teams that you wouldn't have expected them to struggle against. And between Ecuador and Senegal, I think it's going to be a draw. But it's still a good fixture. So Ecuador are playing. Let me just check here. Ecuador playing Qatar and then Netherlands again, and then Senegal. So that first fixture, though, you cannot ignore it. On the first day, very, very good pick. So let's go to that Ecuador. Estupinan is an option. Castillo is an option. Let's go to this. All players. Valencia, Caicedo is an option, but there's one player I think he's going to start, and I've also chosen him because he had a lot of shots during the qualifying stages, and you want players who are going to take a lot of shots. Phonetic Kid, that's how you say Phonetic Kid, Caicedo, and also Estrada. Now, I don't know who is going to start if both of them are going to start, but if both of them start, I actually don't think it's a bad idea to double up, but I think double up is going too far unless you have a plan for match day 2 to play your wildcard in match day 2. If that is your plan, I don't think it's a bad idea to go for 2 Ecuador players, even 3 if you prefer. But the thing is, in match day 2, remember they have Netherlands. I think they will lose that game. So I think it's a great option. Now, I know you said Caicedo, but I have gone for Estrada because of the shots, number of shots he took during the qualifying stages. And I also wrote something about him as well. Where the hell is Estrada? It disappeared from my notes. Yes, he scored 7 goals since the qualifying stages started. So 5 million. 5 million is quite cheap. 5 million is very, very good. How much is Caicedo? Caicedo is slightly more expensive than him, Phonetic Kid, but he's still a good option. So that completes our striking. Now, I have in this draft, I've gone for Messi, Mbappe, and Estrada, but it still feels wrong to leave out Harry Kane because Harry Kane is playing against Iran, Wales, and USA, and Harry Kane loves to take shots. He loves taking shots. He'll get points for shots on target, and England get a bunch of penalties. I think every time I watch England, Kane scores a penalty. And the thing is, why I feel like he's not going to do that well is because of how England play. Like that back five, like I've seen them winning 1-0 and 2-1 so many times. I feel like England cannot really beat anyone 5-0. I feel like Argentina and Brazil can beat people 5-0 and 6-0. I don't think England can, but literally up to you. But Estrada is good, and also Caicedo could be good, as Phonetic Kid said. Choupo-Moting, Inaki Williams, great differential for value, says Tron. Is also on penalties. Penalties are very important for sure. Chan says, dumb question, but where do I find the chips like if I want to use them? I think when you're confirming, because I think, let me just see. It's not a dumb question, as you can see myself. I can't. I literally do not know where they are. But I think in terms of the wildcard, you can get it when you're making your transfers in the transfer page. I think that is why you can get your wildcard. And the 12th man, I think when you confirm your team or something like that, it should be available. It's actually a good question. I literally did not know where to find it as well. But don't worry, Chan. We'll figure it out as we go by. We'll figure it out before the end of the stream. How's it going, Teza? Says, how are you doing, Teza? I'm doing good. So those are how many players have we picked so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players so far. So Inaki Williams says Tron and Choupo-Moting. So we are going to Africa. Let's take a look. Cameroon have Brazil in that group, though. So that is a tough fixture, Tron. I don't really expect Cameroon to do well against Brazil. And I followed Cameroon during the African Cup of Nations. I covered them, and they were scoring a bunch of goals. But let's see their team. So their team is not yet even confirmed, so we can't even go there as of now. But they could be good options. Let's go to Ghana. Inaki Williams is 6.5 million. But the group, though, I know he has a very tough group. Portugal, Korea, Uruguay. That is tough, Tron. That is really, really tough. I would not really go for him against Portugal in the first game. That is a pretty hard group. We're trying to target teams that have good fixtures, at least for the first 2 match days. And Inaki Williams has a really, really difficult group. And speaking of Inaki Williams, Kudus has also done the job for us at Ajax, so it could be great as well. Another team who have very good fixtures in match day 1. Let me go back to the difficulty rankings. Netherlands. Netherlands are playing Senegal, Ecuador, and then Qatar. Now, Senegal are probably going to do well attacking. I mean, I think they will end up scoring even 2 goals against Netherlands, but I can see Netherlands scoring at least 2 or 3 against them as well. So it could be like a 3-2 there. So let's go to Netherlands. I was thinking about Depay. I think Depay is a good option as well. But where is he in this game? He is a forward, right? In this game. Let's see, Depay is a forward at 8.5 million. So this time it's going to be really hard to pick your forwards, because I feel like Depay is a good option, Estrada is a good option, Caicedo, you have Mbappe, you have Messi, you have Lautaro Martinez, like Kane. Who are you going to go for up front? And if you go for 3 expensive players up front, you're going to have to look for very cheap midfielders and defenders. And that is why I've picked Estrada, because he has cut in the first game. So Tron, those players, some of those players are not available, and also in terms of some of them have tough fixtures. Lewis says there's nowhere to put your team name unless I'm just not seeing it. There is. I chose it when I was confirming my team. There is, but you're actually right, Lewis, in terms of you brought that up. They've made everything so difficult. I don't know why. It's hard to find where the chips are. Some people are not understanding the rules. Like, they didn't explain it as much as we wanted. It's like someone just wrote it within the first 2 hours and posted it. Probably after the 14th, they're going to bring it in. Now I confirmed my team. I still can't find the wildcards. Maybe they'll show it later. Yeah, like there's no app for it as well. Maybe they'll update things very, very soon. So Tron, fun enough, the next player suggested is the next player I was going to come to. So Denmark is the next place we are going to go to. Now, they have a tough fixture against France there, but you cannot ignore Male. That's how you pronounce his name. Joachim Male. That's how you pronounce his name. Now, he used to be an Atalanta player, right? I'm not crazy. I know he used to play for. Does he still play for Atalanta? He used to play for Atalanta, if I'm not wrong. I remember watching him in the Champions League, and I remember having him in my Champions League team. And he used to do very, very well in terms of pushing forward. I think I had him in the last Euros as well. He's playing against Tunisia and he's playing against France. Tunisia don't love scoring goals at all. Tunisia love keeping clean sheets. Like, they love 0-0s and 1-0. So Tunisia is not a team that will really go and score 2 goals against Denmark, and I don't expect them to score against France that many. So Denmark going to play Tunisia, and then France, and then Australia. But Joachim is not the player you're going for only for the clean sheets. We are also going for him in terms of attacking potential. I wrote something down about him. I think he's scored a bunch of goals. He scores and assists a lot. I think in qualifying he had more than 5 attacking returns. So I think he's a good option at 4.5 million. He will be bombing forward on the left side. So Joachim Male is very, very good for sure up against Tunisia in the first game. That is a good pick. Sean, that is the next pick I was actually going to go for. Now, let's go back to the fixture difficulty ranking. England, we've gone for 1 player so far. I think you need to go for an attacker, but who? Which attacker do you think we should be going for England, since we can't have Harry Kane at the moment? Now, I will choose a player. I will go to England. I'm going to go for the midfielders, and I'm going to go straight away for Jude Bellingham. Bellingham is great. He's a definite starter for England. We've seen how he's done for Dortmund this season. I think he's already scored 9 goals, and he loves going forward, man. And if England play with their usual back 5, their fullbacks will be attacking, and then Rice is the one who's going to be holding, and Bellingham will be pushing forward to go and create chances for Kane and anyone else who's playing up front. So I think Jude Bellingham, and also playing in midfield, the tackles and taking shots from outside the box, all that could help. So Jude Bellingham is the one who's in the team. Now, if you already have someone like Kane, I don't think you should also go for Jude Bellingham. Maybe go for 1 attack and 2 defenders if you want 3 players from England, because England is not really the team that can score 4-0 or 5-0. That is the thing. So that's interesting. Marcus says legends remember Male from the Euros for sure. I had him at the Euros, and I had him for Champions League Fantasy when Atalanta was there 2 seasons ago, when they were playing. They were in the same group with Man United, I think, and Villarreal 2 seasons ago. Atalanta, if I'm not wrong. He was very good. That cross in the Euros versus Czech Republic, says Tron. Gakpo is the must-have, says Johan. I was very annoyed when I found out that Gakpo is a forward. I wanted so bad to have him in my midfield. Yes, That's the thing, Johan. You cannot have them all. As I said, Gakpo is a good option. I feel very wrong not having Kane in this draft, Kane, because he's going to take the penalties and have a lot of shots. He's got a hat trick, I think, in the last World Cup. So good option. And I think we still need to go for Brazil and Netherlands players next. So Bergwijn, who do you think Bergwijn is a good option to go for in midfield for Netherlands, or do you think there's any other player? Do you think Berghuis is a better option? Who do you guys think? As you tell me which Netherlands players you think are the best, let me go to Brazil. I saw a comment about Brazil, Tron saying no Brazil defender. We are going to check Brazil right now because we don't want to run out of space for Brazil players. Again, I feel very wrong not having. Where do they have Neymar? Neymar is okay as a forward. Neymar is fine, but I don't agree with having Vinicius and Rafinha as forwards and Rodrigo. Like, these are way too many strikers. Like, you can't have all these players. But the thing is, Brazil are going to score at least in that group. Brazil are going. I can see them: Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. I can see them. They're not going to score a bunch, but at least 8 goals surely. I can see them getting at least 8 goals. And Neymar is going to start every single game. Vinicius is probably going to start 2 of them. Rafinha maybe is going to start 1 or 2. Rodrigo maybe can start 1. Anthony maybe 1 or 2. Firmino is not there. Firmino has been left out. Jesus has been picked instead of him. Jesus will not start. Midfield-wise, Casemiro. Casemiro is a definite starter for Brazil. If Casemiro is a definite starter for Brazil, or is it Fred? Who is a definite starter for Brazil? I love the way Casemiro and Fred go forward for their for Man. This is the only time you'll hear me complimenting Man United, by the way, as an Arsenal fan. But Fred and Casemiro love going forward for Man United, and they're not afraid to take shots, just like Højbjerg at Denmark. We'll talk about him as well. And making tackles in midfield will get you a lot of points. So who do you think we should go for? Bilal actually said, is Casemiro a bad option? I don't think so. I don't think Casemiro is a bad option. And I would not be surprised if you can get a goal, because he goes forward in terms of corners as well. Tron says Bruno Guimaraes as well. Is he a definite starter, though? Because they also have Lucas Paqueta. It's literally so hard predicting. They have Fabinho there. They have so many midfielders. Martinelli has been picked in terms of the left side. They've picked Ribery as well. Like, it's so hard picking. So let me know, who do you think we should pick in terms of Brazil midfielders? Just type one name: Fred, Bruno Guimaraes, or Casemiro. Which one do you think is the best, as I come through your comments as well? Tron says Militao. Johan says Bergwijn is also a good option. Tron says Valverde for sure. Ripadu says Gravenberch as well. Bayern Munich. Gavi or Pedri, good option, says Tron. Gakpo is a must-have. Maybe Pulisic in your team. Paqueta could be interesting. The Brazil manager loves him. You should start. Most Goretzka is a good option, both offensive and defensive. In Brazil, I think Casemiro as well. So, yeah, we have like 5 Casemiros: Johan, Javob, Ripadu, and I'm also going for Casemiro. So I am going to include Casemiro. Thank you, guys. Let me go for Casemiro here. Where is he again? 6 million is what it's going to cost you. Now, his fixtures. Now, Brazil are playing against, let's see, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon, in that order. Serbia is not terrible, and I don't think Switzerland is definitely not terrible. Like, these games could end like 3-2 or 3-1 to Brazil. Now, Casemiro will be good, but the tackles, that is why we are going to include him. Tron says Fabinho, Casemiro fast. Chase says Sparta, Marcus says Casemiro. I personally think England will beat Iran by 3 or 4, says Finlay. Now, the first game for sure, that's why I'm talking about Kane as well. I think it's a kind of a bad option not to go for Kane in the first week. But how do you include all these guys? This will be very interesting. This is not like Champions League, Fantasy, or FPL. FPL, everyone has Haaland, everyone had Jesus in the first game, everyone has Cancelo, everyone has this one and that one. Champions League, Fantasy, everyone has Mbappe, everyone has last season many people had Ronaldo in the Champions League Fantasy, Bellingham, a lot of people have him. World Cup Fantasy is different. Like, there's like 20-30 good options in terms of forward line. Like, you can go for 3 players from Brazil, 3 players from France, Argentina. We've not even talked about the likes of Lautaro Martinez. I saw someone choosing a player that I wanted to talk about as well. Johan says Bergwijn. So I think that is the player we are going to choose from. Netherlands, but not before we also talk about their defense. Now, Netherlands are playing against Senegal, Ecuador, and Qatar. I think Senegal will definitely score in that game. Against Ecuador and Qatar, I'm not sure. So there is a possibility they could keep two clean sheets or something. If you want Depay up front, he's definitely a good option, and Depay takes their penalties, and like he's gotten like 13 goals and 11 assists very recently. Like he's very good for them. Like he performs very well for them. Memphis Depay and Dumfries. Dumfries the definite starter for Netherlands, and I think bombing forward on that right side again. As Marcus said, legends will remember. What is that comment again? Legends will remember Male from the Euros. Legends will also remember Dumfries from the Euros. So let's also add Dumfries there as the option from Netherlands. So 6 million is what is going to cost you. So far, we have two more defenders to pick, two more midfielders to pick as well, and a goalkeeper. So we have Luke Shaw, Joachim Mahler, Denzel Dumfries, Zielinski, Jude Bellingham, Casemiro, Estrada, Mbappe, and Messi so far. So let me know one name that you think we've left out that definitely needs to be in the team. Shama says Camavinga. Tron says pick from Belgium and Portugal. I think I added something for the midfield. I just read something new. They added something for the midfielders. Let me know, Chan. Everton Ribeiro will be my Brazilian dark horse, not Casemiro. Let's see. Says Chick. I've seen it's been picked today and it's only going to cost you 6.5 million. But we have to see what happens with them in terms of getting closer to the tournament, what happens and who plays better in the last week next week. Danilo's one of your defenders, says Lucy. I feel like Serbia and Switzerland are going to score against Brazil. I watched Brazil in the last international matches, and I think they conceded like 2 goals against Tunisia, a team that never scores goals. So that's the problem. So let's go to Portugal. Let's not ignore Portugal. Portugal do have a very tough group, though, for sure. Portugal have a tough group, but as always, like in FPL and UCL fantasy, you cannot ignore Joao Cancelo because he gets forward so many times. In the last game I watched between Portugal in the international break, he was getting forward so many times. I think he got an assist or a goal in one of those games that Portugal qualified for this World Cup. Cancelo 6 million is obviously a good option, and he's very capable of getting goals. The thing is, and since he gets a lot of recovery points in Champions League fantasy, you can see him getting a lot of tackles in this one as well. And even if Portugal concede, Cancelo can get you 5 or 6 points. Ghana, Uruguay, Korea are his fixtures. Ghana didn't do well at AFCON last time, so it could be a clean sheet for Portugal. Against Uruguay, I think they'll concede. And against Korea, depends whether Son is there or anything. But Cancelo, 6 million, I think we will go for him. So we've gone for Cancelo. So we have 4 defenders, Cancelo, Dumfries, Joachim Mahler, and Luke Shaw so far. So how much money do we have remaining here? 26.5 million. Now, there's teams that we've not chosen from that we need to. Teams like Belgium, as someone mentioned. Chan says, go to the rules. I don't know how to translate it in English. Okay, I have to do it after this because if I leave this page, it's going to disappear. Thomas Monnier says, Tron, Switzerland is solid. Win or lose, they are definitely going to score. Why is it not to pick any Brazilian defenders? We didn't get to see points played, minutes, and assists. So does that mean I don't get points for it? That would be really strange. I think you only get 1 point if your player plays more than 60 minutes. It is strange. So basically, I think they mean if your player doesn't play 60 minutes, you don't get any point for it. Imagine that. Your player actually plays and you don't get any points for it. De Bruyne picking Ronaldo over Messi. Ronaldo is a whole different beast for the national team, says Shama. Yes, but fixture-wise, Shama, he is playing against Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea. Messi is playing against Saudi Arabia in the first game. Saudi Arabia conceded 5 goals in the opening game of the last World Cup. So in terms of fixtures, which one is easier? Uruguay and Ghana or Saudi Arabia? Definitely Saudi Arabia for Messi. So that's the thing. And I feel like Argentina have better form. I think they've not lost a game in a while, right? I think Argentina have gone so many games without losing a game. I think they're about to break the record of they've already broken the record. They are doing so well. And Portugal, meanwhile, still not sure about the players surrounding him because the likes of Jota are injured and stuff like that. So yeah, Rishabh, how are you? But obviously, Sharma, you can go for anyone. You can go for anyone right there. Let's see. Gareth Bale. Rishabh, visiting your channel for the first time in a long time. Welcome back, Rishabh. So which team do we go to next? So I saw someone saying Diogo Costa, but since we've gone for Cancelo, I can't also go for Diogo Costa. Let's go back to the fixtures. We've covered Netherlands. We've covered England. How have we covered Netherlands? We've gone for Denzel Dumfries. But in terms of attacking, though, I think Netherlands attacking will do good. But Senegal first game, let's see. Argentina against Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland. I think that's a definite clean sheet for sure. I cannot see them scoring in that game. So let's go to Argentina first and look for their defenders. Now, Otamendi is very good for Benfica, but does he definitely start for Argentina? That's the thing. Does he definitely start? Lisandro Martinez, I think he will start. Tagliafico, Otamendi, Acuna. Otamendi, does he definitely start for Argentina? If he does, I mean, the tackles, he's very good in terms of recovery points and tackles. And in terms of going forward, he could be. Lisandro Martinez will probably complete more passes and everything like that, but you don't get rewarded a lot for that in World Cup fantasy. Otamendi, Ripadu says yes, is a definite starter. If not sure, what other defender do you suggest? It is either Trippier or Trent Alexander-Arnold, but it's so hard to know who's going to start. That is the thing. He always starts for Argentina. Jasper Skillesen for Netherlands is a good goalkeeper choice, in my opinion. Okay. Get Belgium, says Sean. 34 matches unbeaten. That's the record I was looking for. So Argentina looking really good. So let us go for Otamendi. I think Romero could start. I think so. Does that mean Lisandro Martinez starts as a left back in Argentina? Because Romero, Otamendi are all center backs. So there's that's interesting though. But Otamendi is the cheaper one. So let's go for him at 5 million because I think that is a definite clean sheet for Argentina. So at the moment you have 3 positions remaining. And yes, I definitely feel a bit uncomfortable not having any Belgian players, as Tron says. Persevere more guaranteed to start. Yeah, definitely, especially for goalkeepers. I do not want to go for goalkeepers who might not start. You have to go for a goalkeeper who will definitely start, because I don't want to be transferring out my goalkeeper in match day 2. So there's nothing to win. Nothing to win. Meaning nothing to win in the fantasy, or I think they'll update everything soon, Shama. I think they'll update everything. And I think many people just use it for fun anyway. There's definitely going to be prizes for sure in terms of them awarding prizes for sure. Let's see. Let's go to Belgium. Let's see who Belgium can offer. I mean, I know, should we go for Courtois? If we go for Courtois, that will mean we'll have not that much money remaining. So let's see their midfielders. De Bruyne is 11 million. If you go for De Bruyne, we'll have to really look for a cheap goalkeeper, a cheap goalkeeper, yes, and a cheap defender as well. So Tielemans 7 million. Now, since Lukaku is not there, Batshuayi or Origi, I think they might rotate, but I think Batshuayi could be have a good start, like maybe in the first game. In terms of Belgium fixtures, they are playing, let me just confirm here, Canada, Morocco first. Yeah, those are 2 good fixtures. I'm going for name instead of Ninja Turtle, says Rishabh. Name instead of, is that Messi? That's Messi. No, that's Mbappe. I mean, Ninja Turtle is Mbappe for sure. I know what you mean. But Mbappe is always scoring for France, Risha. But if you go for without Mbappe, you definitely have to go get a midfielder in place of him or another. You cannot go without French players. So Belgium players, it's really, really tough to pick Belgium players. Someone says Meunier. I had Meunier in the last World Cup fantasy. He was pretty good in that one. Dries Martins is not a starter. Trossard, maybe. Eden Hazard is a definite starter for Belgium. He captains them. So he doesn't play for Real Madrid, but he definitely plays for Belgium. So let us go for Eden Hazard for now. And I'm sure he takes their penalties if Lukaku is not there. So that is not bad at all. Let's go for Hazard at only 8 million. I know people will underestimate him because he doesn't play. But in Belgium, he plays. He's the captain, and he always plays. So that will take us to 13.5 million remaining, and we can pick a midfielder and a defender. So we've covered Netherlands, England. I still feel like we need to get England triple up, but that's up to you. For now, we'll just stick with 2 players. Which other country have we missed out on? I saw someone saying Pulisic. I saw someone saying Bale. They are playing each other in the first game. Argentina, 2 players might be enough, but against Saudi Arabia, when I make my final team, I will probably go for 3 players from Argentina. We've not gone for Croatia. I saw someone saying Modric. Modric is playing Morocco, Canada, Belgium. I think those are good fixtures, especially the first 2. Again, we don't have any Spanish players so far, so should we go for any Spain players? Spain have Croatia in the first, no, Croatia. They have Costa Rica and then Germany and then Japan. Those are not good fixtures for Spain for sure. Those are not good at all. I mean, if it was Spain from 2010, I'll probably have Villa, Torres, and Xavi in the team, or Iniesta or something. But right now, Morata does not really convince me. Pedri and Gavi, 100% sure. Gavi, I know they've been starting games, but when it comes to the World Cup, is there any other option who'll be given a chance? Defensively, I mean, this is not back in the day when Ramos is definite. You can go for him, Pique and all these guys. Pedri could be an option, but Spain, they're not really exciting me. Costa Rica did very well in the 2014 World Cup. I think they won like 7 or something out of their last 6 out of their last 7 games in qualifying Costa Rica. So they're not useless. We've also not picked up any Germany players so far, and that is where I'm going to go next, Germany, and I'm going to go for a guy who I think a lot of people must have, and I'm going to choose Kimmich. So Kimmich is my pick from Germany, because he takes free kicks, he takes corners, he can score a goal. And I saw a crazy stat that Kimmich as a midfielder for Germany has 1 assist every 3 games. That is crazy. That means he always, like, every 2 games, 3 games, he gets an assist from midfield position. So that is not bad at all. So Kimmich, I think you definitely can go for him, and tackles in midfield. That will get you a lot of points, and we know what he can do. Corners, free kicks, pretty good option, Kimmich. Now, we only have, as you see, it's very difficult to pick a team. When you're choosing this team, you're going to have to go through it a lot of times. This team here has Messi, Mbappe, Estrada, Casemiro, Bellingham, and Zielinski. But we are missing Neymar. We are missing Kane. Some people have mentioned Bale and Pulisic. Tron says Rodri. Chica says Ferran Torres. Tron says Asensio as well. I'm a Spain supporter since I was 14 years. I supported Spain in 2010 World Cup, and they actually ended up winning it. But I supported them in 2010 and the 2014, and they went out so early. So I would love to keep a place for Spain players in my fund. No problem as well. Remember, you're the captain. You're the coach of your team, Tron. So you don't really have to go for these players that we've chosen here. We just did this. I thought about doing this draft live so that I can get a lot of opinions from you guys and see which players people are thinking about. So, because if I just did it by myself, I just think one mind. They usually say 2-3 minds think better than one mind. So that is better. Michael Angelo is annoying, but he could really kill it, says Sham. I'm going for Neymar instead of that one. Let's see. Leandro Trossard is a good option. I'm not sure if he's a definite starter. That's the thing, Zap. If he was a definite starter, could be a good option. But considering players, I don't think players are going to get any points if they play less than 60 minutes. So if your player plays less than 60 minutes and then gets subbed off at halftime, you don't want that. I want players who are going to play a lot. And Mbappe is not going to be subbed early. Messi is not going to be subbed early. Probably Joaquim Maela might not be subbed early. Cancelo will not be subbed early. Casemiro, maybe not. Estrada, we've gone for the fixtures. He might be subbed early. I'm not sure about Ecuador in terms of subbing players. Bellingham, I think he will play at least the first 2 games. Hazard will play a lot, maybe 60, 65 minutes. Kimmich will probably play the entire game. Now, we only have 1 position remaining with 6.5 million. 6.5 million. Which teams have we? We've gone for England players. We've gone for Portugal player. Brazil 1 player does feel very wrong. Like going without a Brazil attacker feels very wrong. So during this week and next week, definitely have to do more research on the midfielders from Ecuador to see who usually goes forward a lot, wingers and stuff. Because if you can get an Ecuador midfielder, then that will really help us to try and get someone like a Kane or someone like so any other striker, Neymar and those players can, because I feel like you cannot go into a tournament without a Brazil attacker. They score so many goals, so many, and it could be Neymar, it could be Anthony, it could be Rafinha. Like, they score so many goals. Tron says French midfielder. Interesting. And they're playing Australia in the first game. I could have only scored twice in the last 5 games. Sure about Australia. Yeah, because I'm really targeting that fixture against Qatar, Lewis. That is the fixture I'm targeting, the Qatar fixture. I think they will win by 2 or 3 goals. Borna Sosa, 3.5 million starter for Croatia. I do have a couple. I wrote a couple of cheap defenders like Mati Cash from Poland. Mati Cash from Poland is great. You say Sosa from Croatia. There's also a couple of others from Croatia as well. Another one that I'd written down. There's one from Tunisia, 2 from Tunisia that's written down. I'll do a separate video for that as well. In terms of, in case you need cheap players, because from this squad, we've not really gone for any cheap players at all, and we've managed to fit in within the budget. So if you go for someone like an Estrada up front, but if you remove Estrada and then you bring in Neymar or someone like that, you won't have enough money. But let's do that. Let's complete the team, and then we can try and make some changes for the next 5 minutes. So defender. Let's go to the defenders. Let's check. Is there any good French defenders? Varane is injured. They've not updated everything yet, but who will start? Lucas Hernandez played well at was it the last World Cup or Euros? One of those. Pavard scored goal of the tournament in 2018 World Cup. Digne scored a free kick yesterday against Man United. Varane is currently injured. Jules Koundé. I know they're going to add the likes of Saliba into this list. So French defenders, though. Pavard is good, but should we risk it with Pavard? Digne, best French midfielder, says Phonetic Kid. I don't like their options in midfield, but maybe likes of Camavinga. Their last World Cup, they had Kante and Pogba. Right now, I'll really be targeting their forward players most. In terms of midfield, let's see who they'll pick in their squad. But in terms of midfielders, Camavinga, Coman, Tchouameni, Rabiot, they only have 4 so far, so they'll add onto that when they update the website. But I will not be going for French midfielders, unfortunately. But if you're thinking of one, maybe Camavinga. Tron says Hakimi. Should I keep Militao, change it to Thiago Silva? They also have Marquinhos. I'd actually go for Marquinhos. But if you're thinking about those two, I don't know. I feel like they're going to start with Marquinhos and Militao. I don't know why. I feel like they're going to go with Marquinhos and Militao, and then Thiago Silva comes in and maybe starts the second or third game. That is really tough to know, though, but I would probably go for Militao from those two. And the biggest question is we really don't know who is going to start. Unlike at FPL or ECL Fantasy, many national managers prefer a different set of players for their teams. That is true. It's not as we are used to. Like Hakim is definitely going to start from Morocco. We are not sure about that. Tron, maybe the Morocco coach has seen someone else who is better than Hakimi, but he'll probably start. Kunku is not there yet. Yeah, I don't think have they put him here yet. 9 million. I don't think Nkunku will not start for France in the first game. Surely not. Not ahead of he'll not start ahead of Benzema and Giroud. I don't think so. Nkunku will probably come on in the first game and then maybe start the third game. Now that is where if you play a wildcard in match day 3, you definitely target players like Nkunku who haven't started. But I think Benzema starts ahead of Nkunku, and I think they love Giroud so much, and Giroud has been on form this season. He starts. Now, if Nkunku was a midfielder, he would be a good option, Tron, but since he's a forward, like, we are struggling to get in players like Neymar, so how the hell do we get in players like Nkunku? Coman or Tchouameni? Coman. I also feel like Coman will not start. I feel like it's impossible to predict their lineup, international managers for sure, as Chika said. But I'm thinking they're going to go with Griezmann, Mbappe, and Benzema. And then maybe Giroud comes on, and then Kunku comes on later on, maybe. And then Coman comes on. And then maybe midfield-wise, they go for Camavinga and 2 other players. I'm literally not sure who. Tron says Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies got injured again. Tron. Alphonso, I think he might even miss the World Cup, so that is unfortunate for him. He got injured again. What's Casemiro's main resource for points, says Phonetic Kid? Tackles, number 1. Tackles is going to make a lot of tackles in midfield. They're giving points for that. The World Cup Fantasy, they're giving points for tackles. And also he loves going forward a lot from what I've seen for Man United. And during corners, he gets into the box and can score a goal here and there. So tackles and An attacking return, I'd not be surprised for Netiki. That's the main source. So which defender do we go for? I'm still stuck. Pavard could be a good option, but I'm going to avoid for now. Brazil are going to concede. France are probably not going to concede against Australia. Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Senegal, Spain. Spain defenders? No, they're playing Germany. They're going to concede. Uruguay, also Valverde could be a good option as well for Uruguay for sure. Switzerland, we've gone for their defender already. We've not gone for their defender already. Let's go for Switzerland. Let's see who Switzerland have here. Akanji, already. Wow. No, we'll stick with these defenders. Otamendi, Luke Shaw, Waki Mile, Dumfries, and Cancelo. So let's choose the final goalkeeper, and then let's see how the team is looking like. We've gone for Ochoa. Which goalkeeper do you think we should get? 6.5 million. Courtois for Belgium. Do you think he should be the one? We don't have any Belgian defenders. Do you think we should go for Unai Simon? Maybe have a Spain player in there. Alisson, Ederson, I just don't like that, man. Who will start? Maybe likes Ederson more this season. Maybe likes Alisson more. Lloris. Maybe if you're going for French defenders, Tron said, maybe we could go for Lloris as a goalkeeper. It is confirmed that Davis is going to be fit until the World Cup. Interesting, but though Canada playing against Canada playing against Belgium and Croatia in the first game. I know he does get attacking points, but they could easily concede 4 goals against Belgium there, easily. Tron says Mendy. Maybe Van Dijk, gonna pick Trippier. I don't think Trippier is a bad option, Sharma. Like, if he's a definite starter, I might even end up with him as well. Coman will not start. His average this season at Bayern. That's the thing. I also don't think he's going to start. So let's look at Mendy. We've not gone for. I've not chosen any players from Senegal or Cameroon. Let's go for goalkeepers. Let's go for Senegal. He might have a lot of saves to make. So his fixtures are. Let's see. The other thing we need to consider, by the way, we're just picking a random draft here, but there's a lot you need to consider when you're choosing. You're going to have to consider who is going to be your captain on the first day, who is going to be your captain on the second day, on the third day, on the fourth day, because you can change it every single time. You have to consider that. So you can't go for players who are going to play on the same day, all of them. You have to have a different players on every single day, subs from the bench and stuff like that. And that is one thing to consider for sure. And goalkeepers as well. So let's see if the goalkeepers are actually playing on the same day. Mendy is playing on the Monday. Ochoa is playing on the Tuesday. Okay, that's not bad. So let's see. The second game, Mendy will be playing on the Friday. And then Ochoa is going to play on the Saturday. So they're not playing on the same day. So Mendy up against, let me see here. Mendy is up against... Let's check again. Netherlands, Qatar, Ecuador. Not bad. I think there's a potential there for 1 clean sheet and a lot of save points against Netherlands potentially. So Mendy, I've gone for Mendy. I said I have Marquinhos. Let me check rapidly. Let me see. I also have 3 Brazilian players and none are attackers: Militao, Marquinhos, and Casemiro. That is interesting. I would not go for 2 Brazil defenders, Ripadu. I think Serbia and I think Serbia will score against them. There's another player I've not talked about here. That is Mitrovic and Vlahovic. I think they will score a goal at least against Brazil. I saw Brazil playing against Tunisia and they considered like 2 or 3 goals against a Tunisia team that does not score goals. And they're also playing Switzerland and Cameroon. So I'd not be surprised if Brazil considered a goal in all 3 of those games. So I'd not go for 2 of their defenders. Maybe 1 at most, Ripadu. So I would probably end up with an attacker from Brazil. This is not my team, by the way. We are picking this team together. There will be a lot. We are not even sure which players are going to go to the World Cup, first of all. So then I asked if I should keep Militao or change to Thiago Silva. If you're choosing from those 2, keep Militao. Is Bergwijn a good option? Yes, he is for sure. Bergwijn and Depay are very good options. And considering they have, they're going to play against Qatar, against Ecuador, and against Senegal. That is not bad at all for sure. That is, those are good fixtures for them for sure. I do not think that those are bad fixtures. So I'll definitely be considering them. So Brazil, Netherlands, England, we've not picked any major attackers from that. And I actually do think it's not a bad idea to go for the attackers for sure. So as you can see, it's pretty hard to go for players. What happens with players from Argentina, I don't think Messi is enough. I think they're going to win 5-0 in that first game. So I do not think Messi is enough. Can we go for any other options from there as well? We could. There could be options as well. So it's pretty hard to go for players. But I have a fixture difficulty ranking here, so I'll bring it up on screen in just a few moments. My goal is Diogo Costa and Persevere, not bad. I think I have the best team right now, says Summit. No cap. Summit says, I think I have the best team right now, no cap. So he's no cap. That's not say there's no cap. It's no cap for sure. Should I share it? I did put my Twitter. If you're on Twitter, I think you have to have a Twitter, guys, by the way. There's a lot of things to learn, and that's the way you can communicate. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, can I put the link in the... I think I can put a link in the chat. Can I? Let me just check something. If you follow me on Twitter and then DM me a team or send me a team, I will do a video where I'm going to review all you people's teams this week. So I'll be taking a look at which players are owned by most of you. So that is my Twitter link. So if you go there and follow and DM or just send it as a direct message, I will be reviewing teams maybe on Wednesday or something. There's a lot of videos to do, though. There's a lot of videos to do. Keylor Navas as a goalkeeper option, or do you think? Yes, he plays. His country love him. Yeah, him and Brian Ruiz at Costa Rica, they love them. He's definitely going to start. So in terms of saving, he's going to save a lot of shots. But clean sheet wise, I don't think so, Chica. See you in Qatar, says Sharma. So let's see something. Let's see. How many of you are in Qatar, by the way? How many of you are going to be lucky to watch the World Cup live? That is a goal. That is one of the first things in my bucket list, going to watch a World Cup live. That is definitely one of the main things. So let's try something else. So we have Ochoa, Edward Mendy, Luke Shaw, Joaquim Mela, Denzel Dumfries, Cancelo, Zielinski, Jude Bellingham, Casemiro, Estrada, Mbappe, Messi, Otamendi, Hazard, Kimmich. Let's try and change it a bit. We have 1 million in the bank. So let's try and remove Estrada and let's go for a Brazil striker and see what happens. If you go for a Brazil striker, that is Neymar. Let's choose. So you can't even actually choose a player if it passes the budget. You know, in FPL and UCL Fantasy, you can actually click on a player and then they will tell you you've gone overboard, -4. In World Cup Fantasy, you cannot actually choose a player. If it's past the budget, you have to remove someone else so that you can actually click on the player. Literally, I cannot click on Neymar if I don't have the money. That is crazy. I don't like that as well. So we have to remove someone else. Who do we remove? How much is Denzel Dumfries? 6 million. Let's try and remove Denzel Dumfries, and then let's go for Neymar up front. But we'll have 1.5 million remaining. So yeah, if you go for 3 expensive forwards, you're going to have a bit of trouble getting in players. But you could go for the cheaper players. So let's try. Joao Cancelo, I think, is going to be a Joaquim Mela 4.5. Which defender do we have here? Otamendi 5 million. Let's try and remove Otamendi for now and let's see what happens. We'll only have 6.5 million. Let's go for a cheaper defender from Poland. That is Matty Cash. Matty Cash is going to start for them. 4 million. He's very, very good. So we'll have 2.5 million remaining for a defender. That is still not enough. We'll still need to go for money elsewhere. So this is going to be pretty difficult to getting in players. Zielinski 6.5 million. Can we get any other cheaper midfielders than Zielinski? Let's see. Any other cheaper midfielders than Zielinski? No, these are the expensive one. I think Son is going to do well as well. Valverde is 8.5 million. That's a lot. Saka is 8 million. That's a lot. Hazard 8 million. Bellingham 7.5. Pulisic is 7.5. Shaqiri always does well in these tournaments. Goretzka is 7 million. He scores a bunch of goals as well going forward. Rabia scored a couple of goals this season. I think he could be the best option from France in terms of midfield. Vecino, Kovacic, Kouyaté, Henderson, Højbjerg is 6.5 million. Zielinski is 6.5 as well. it's so tough. Olsen is 6 million, Gravenberch is 6 million. I literally do not think there's that many cheap midfielders you can get that are very good. Brian Ruiz of Costa Rica is going to take their penalties. It's 6 million. El Khazri. Finlay, there's no app. They've not updated the app yet, so you can only get it here. El Khazri from Tunisia is an attacker. Let's see. El Khazri. They don't like scoring goals though, Tunisia, Tron. They don't score a lot of goals. They love keeping clean sheets. A lot of their games are 0-0. El Khazri is 4.5 million. Okay, so if he removes Zielinski and go for Khazri at 4.5 million, what are his fixtures first of all though? Let's go for him. He's going to play against Denmark, Australia, France. Okay, that's not the end of the world. That's not that bad. So he'll have 4.5 million to get in a defender. I think Sane, I like Sane, but he's 9 million. Yes, Lewis, if you go for him, you're going to have a lot of problems. I like DePaul Ripadu. He's going to get a lot of tackle points in midfield. So let's check how much he is here. Rodrigo DePaul, 5 million. How much is Casemiro again? So let us remove Casemiro for now, since we brought in Neymar, and bring in Rodrigo DePaul. Casemiro, out you go. Let's bring in Rodrigo DePaul because he has a very good fixture. So with this one, we have 5.5 million to spend in defense. So hopefully you got you saw the first draft. So 5.5 million. I still think there's a couple of cheap defenders. There's one in Costa Rica. There's one in there's a couple in Mexico. There's one. Let's go for no, we can't go for 2 Tunisia players. That is too much. They have a couple of, which teams are they playing again? Denmark, Australia, and France. Still, I don't think it's a good idea to go for 2 Tunisian players or 2 Iranian players or 2 Qatari players. I think that would be crazy. Even 2 Welsh players or 2 USA players. I think that is a bit too much. Matias Oliveira from Uruguay, Napoli guy, says Tron. From Tunisia, El Khazri is usually on penalties and will start for sure. Bilal, so I'm assuming you watched the African Cup. I remember you guys missed like 3 penalties at AFCON. Remind me, I think Tunisia missed a couple of penalties at the AFCON, so like 3 or something crazy like that. He's always in the starting 11 and he will get a lot of tackle points, as you see. Ripadu. Let's look at Oliveira at Uruguay. Let's look at Uruguay. Tough group though, Tron. That is a tough group. I don't like that group in terms of defense. Korea, Portugal, Ghana. First fixture is not that bad, but Portugal, they'll concede and they could easily concede against Ghana. Now, in terms of Luke Shaw, I think he has a chance of keeping 2 clean sheets. Marty Cash, attacking returns, Cancelo as well, Joaquim Miller, Oliveira from Uruguay, Napoli. Let's see. Let's put him in. Thank you for all the options. Ripadu, Bilal, Tron, Lewis. Thank you for all the suggestions. I appreciate it. So that will take us to 1 million remaining. Mbappe, Messi, Neymar. This is like PSG. Khazri, Bellingham, Rodrigo DePaul, Cancelo, Matica, Joaquim Miller, Shaw, Ochoa, and Mendy, Oliveira, Hazard, Kimmich. So that's not that bad of a team. But I'm sure many people will say, where is Kane? Some people will say, where is De Bruyne? Some people will say, where is Benzema? Some people will ask for another defender from England. So you see, it's very, very hard to pick players. So, but hopefully this gives you an idea. Let me go to what I wanted to see. I wanted to check something. I wanted to check the fixture difficulty rank. I wanted to show you guys. So that is the team. Let me put it on the bigger screen first so that you can see it. So this is the second team. I made changes from the first team. So Ochoa, Luke Shaw, Mela, Cash, Cancelo, Khazri, Bellingham, DePaul, Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Mendy, Oliveira, Hazard, Kimmich. So in this draft, my probable picks are the ones I've picked are Ochoa, Luke Shaw, Joaquim Miller, someone else in the chat picked him as well. Marty Cash, I picked him. Cancelo, I was going to pick him, but a lot of you picked him in the chat as well. So this is a collaboration pick. Khazri is picked by Tron. Bellingham is picked by me. Rodrigo DePaul is picked by Ripadu. Messi is picked by everyone. Mbappe is picked by everyone. Neymar, The likes of Javob in the chat. Let's see, there's someone else who talked about Neymar early on. Yeah, Neymar is picked by most of you as well. Let's see somewhere here. I think Javob picked Neymar. I think Kuma says I think Neymar can be a good pick as well. So Neymar is picked by some of you as well. In terms of Matheus Oliveira, picked by you guys. Hazard picked by me. Kimmich picked by me. Mendy picked by you guys. So yes, so there's players here that I probably wouldn't pick on another day. Maybe like Oliveira might go for another player, but that is the first draft. So we will do more of this very, very soon. But for now, let me show you guys the difficulty rank in terms of fixtures. Let me do this. I will do a video. I will post it like maybe on the community tab so you guys can get an idea as well. So this is the fixture difficulty rank. This shows you which team has good fixtures and which team has poor fixtures. So in terms of green is very good. Gray is just okay, and the red ones is very, very dangerous. Another option for Matty Cash says Sanchez. You could go for, there's a guy, the guy at Leipzig called Vabiol of Croatia is good as well. I'll do a whole video in terms of budget options. So as you can see, those greens, Netherlands have 3 greens all the way. England have 3 greens all the way. Argentina have 3 greens all the way as well. Brazil have 3 greens all the way too. And I think this is the whole page. No, there's a couple of others at the bottom, but yeah, those are the 4 teams. Brazil, Netherlands, England, Argentina, the teams that have 3 good fixtures all the way through. The teams that have 2 good fixtures, Denmark, Tunisia, and Uruguay, but they have France in between. France have Australia and Tunisia, but they have Denmark in between. Another team is Netherlands. Let's see. Belgium have Canada and Morocco, but they also have Croatia at the end. But at the end, if you're playing your wildcard in match day 3, you don't have to care about if you go for Belgian players right now, just knowing you're going to remove them in the last day when they're playing Croatia, and then target Canada and Morocco in terms of Belgian players. Serbia have Brazil at first, that is tough, but after that, Cameroon and Switzerland, Mitrovic could be a good option. Vlahovic maybe could be a good option. Uruguay have Korea, Portugal, and Ghana. Valverde, I think, is still a good option for all 3 of those games. Portugal, as someone said, Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Ronaldo will probably still do well. Ghana, Uruguay, and Korea. Ghana have Portugal, Korea, Uruguay, but they don't have any greens at all. So kudos, Inaki Williams. Not sure about them. Let's switch to the team. Have I missed out on? USA don't have any greens at all in this fixture difficulty rating at all. Qatar, they don't have any greens. Ecuador have 1 green the first day against Qatar, Ecuador. So this will also help. So I'll probably put this one in the community tab for you guys to visit to see which teams have the best fixtures and which teams don't. Bilal says, I think, what about Ronaldo? I think he takes many shots on goal. He does. Him and Harry Kane definitely do. But the thing is, if you go for Ronaldo and Kane, you're probably not going to go for Messi and Neymar and these players, Mbappe. Why is Croatia versus Canada not green? Croatia versus Canada. Where is that again? Croatia versus Canada not green. Where is Croatia? I mean, it's great. I mean, I don't think Canada is terrible. I also don't think Morocco is terrible. I feel like Croatia could win those games 1-0 or 2-0 at most. I don't think they'll trash them like 4 or 5-0. I don't think so. I don't think it's easier here. The teams that I think might be trashed from this, I think Netherlands could put like 4 past Qatar on the final day. I think England might put 3 past Iran. I think Argentina will put like 4 or 5 past Saudi Arabia. France maybe 3 or 4 past Australia. All the others I think will be really close, 2-1, 3-1. Croatia, no. Belgium, maybe 3 goals past either Canada or Morocco. Brazil will probably score maybe 3 against Cameroon and maybe 2 or 3 against Serbia or Switzerland. Not 3-0. I'm saying they'll beat Serbia like 3-1 or 3-2 and Switzerland 3-1 or something and Cameroon 3-1, but I don't think they'll keep clean sheets. That's why I've not talked about Brazil defenders. Uruguay, no. Portugal. So maybe 5 games I'm expecting teams to be trashed. So it's not really a lot of games. So even that one for Croatia and Canada, I'm thinking 1-0 at most or 2-0 at most. Javo, I don't trust England's defense, to be very honest, says Tron. Shaw is an attacking option, so that is why I've gone for him. Best goalkeeper suggestion for 4 million, if anyone can suggest, says Chika. Will check that. Can you please share the fixed table on Twitter, please? I will. Thank you for following. If you haven't followed on Twitter, make sure to do that. We will. You can send your team there, and we'll talk more there. And you'll get to know when I'm going live and everything fast there when you're on Twitter. Can I pin this? Not able to pin this. I didn't know World Cup had a fantasy, says KB. It does. It had since 2014. I played it in 2018, but not 2014. Kobel is 4 million. Sommer out, big miss for Switzerland, so Brazil will trash them. So if Sommer is out, the other goalkeeper could be 4 million, Chika. I'm not if he starts though. I'm not sure if he starts. I forgot about UCL fantasy. Also, I haven't played since my match week 1. Don't worry, KB. You will probably remember very soon. I'm from Tunisia. We can draw with Australia. You can even beat Australia. I mean, you can very, very easily, if you score fast in such a game. I can see Tunisia winning. But draw France, but Denmark on another level. France. Ezin is very confident. Ezin and Bilela from Tunisia, but France is tough, man. France forward players. I don't think anyone can keep Mbappe. And those guys have Mbappe, Griezmann, Giroud, Benzema, and Kunku. If you keep all of them quiet, you're probably going to win the World Cup. Belgium seems to have a good run of fixtures, says Risha. Belgium. Canada and Morocco. So it depends. We'll also do a video on the chip strategy. If you're planning to play your wildcard in match day 3, then there's no problem with going for teams like Belgium here who have two good fixtures at the beginning, or and then target Brazil. Then target maybe Argentina, knowing maybe if you feel like Poland are going to stop Argentina, you can just target Saudi Arabia and Mexico. If you feel like Wales are going to be tough for England, you can target them against Iran and USA. Netherlands, if you feel like you're going to play your wildcard in match day 2 or 3, if you play your wildcard in match day 2, you definitely have to get in Netherlands players if you didn't have them against Senegal, because against Ecuador and Qatar, I expect them to do well. So all this depends on your chip strategy. So this helps you in terms of deciding chip strategy. I've still not yet decided, but wildcard is probably match day 2 or 3, depending on how match day 1 goes. Also, injuries and suspensions and stuff like that could happen. Or if you had a plan, then it doesn't start, that ruins everything for you. Have to keep an eye on squad selection this week, says Tron. And Denmark will top their group, I have a feeling. I would not be surprised with that one, Jacob. I would not be surprised if they draw with France. But if they go to goal difference, I think France will score more goals than Denmark, though. My Spain announcement is 14th November. I'm hoping for a sense in the squad. I think he will be. I think he will be picked, Tron. I think he'll definitely be picked. Yeah, that's right. Last World Cup, we lost to England last minute. So if we get lucky, we can draw with France and lose to Denmark and win Australia. Good. I mean, I think fast is gone. I think France will get fast. But against Australia, if you can pick up something as in, and then maybe against Denmark try and draw and then hope France beat Denmark, I think 4 points could be enough to go through in that group. And choose players shoots a lot because the points added, like Mitrovic, Sane, and Ken. Yeah, we've talked about players like Ken, other players who can take a lot of shots, in Ronaldo, but you can't go for everyone though, because if you want Messi, some people will just easily go for Messi and Ronaldo, and that's enough. But if you go for 3 expensive strikers like that, you're going to have trouble with getting midfielders and defenders. You're going to have to go for 4.5, and you're going to go for the Højbjergs and Casemiros in midfield. As an Argentinian fan, I think De Paul will give loads of points because he wins a lot of balls, tackles, and assists on a regular basis. So once again, I'm going to put my Twitter there. You can follow me, and then we can talk more there. Where the hell is it gone again? Oh yeah, I should get it here. Right here. So a lot of videos this week in terms of this topic of World Cup fantasy. I did the final video for the UCL fantasy early on today after the Champions League draw. Liverpool will play Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich. Good fixtures. Follow on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, do me a favor, please join today. It will definitely help you in terms of getting through this fantasy and communicating better. I only come on YouTube to watch videos and post videos, not really communicate. Tron says, Gunnar Trim India, appreciate you. I'm picking Kramaric. He's taking a lot of shots. Champions League predictions live on stream. Yeah, we'll do it. But yeah, let's do it next year, everybody. Let's go for Champions League next year. But I think your team will win. I think your team will win the game. So I really appreciate all the comments. So that is the fixture difficulty ranking. Let's go back to this other screen. Let's do this, and then we can call it a night. I've pinned the message for my Twitter, so follow me there. That's the direct link. Then you can talk more there. If you have a team ready, you can DM it, and then I'll include it in the video. Let's see, which one am I looking for? This one. So this is what I'm looking for. So that's the team that we have right now. Remember, you don't have to go for these players. You can go for De Bruyne instead of Hazard. You can go for Ronaldo instead of Messi. If you prefer, you can go for a cheaper striker instead of Neymar. Up to you. But I've done 2 drafts in this video. Really appreciate you guys watching. This was a good one. Musiala is also a good option. Danny, I've thought about him as well. But I don't think I will go for Kimmich and Musiala together. So I've chosen Kimmich in this draft. But we will see what happens. Have a lovely day. If it's still there at your place, have a lovely night. We'll catch up with you on the next one.